Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. I just wanted to do a follow-up on the Alex Haze seminar. To say he did an incredible job would be an understatement. That's one of the reasons why it's so important for me to network with all the, we'll call it the people that like-minded individuals in the motorcycle audio industry, because watching his webinar, I learned a lot I didn't know about Alex. He is very articulate, very detailed, and very, very wise young man. He knows the insides of DSPs in and out, and he is very, very well versed in acoustic theory. So he has a different style, but when you break down the fundamentals, he's saying exactly the same things that I'm saying. And the reason I'm trying to network with as many people as possible and get as much information out there is I want to make the entire industry better. And Alex is one of the people doing that. On top of that, Alex just did very, very, very well at the past two competitions where every single one of his bikes won the title in their weight division. So, and he's gearing up to go to Daytona in a few weeks, and he's going to raise hell down there too. So, there's a lot of people that push against DSP, saying you don't need it. Alex feels the same way I feel, that it's needed in just about every application. A DSP will make any setup sound better if it's properly tuned. One of the reasons I find it crazy that people are pushing back saying you don't need a DSP is we're working on newer and newer vehicles, and you can't change the radio in these. So you get away with changing the radio on Harley Davidson, but what are you going to do? Right now, we have a brand new Indian in the bay, which you can't change the radio in. We have a brand new Polaris Slingshot in the bay, which you wouldn't want to change the radio in. The client paid $3,000 for the command radio from the dealer. He's not changing it. It's waterproof, it's got CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, and we can get good audio signal from it. Plus, the new Slingshot has steering wheel controls that work with the radio. We have the brand new Honda Gullwing, which you cannot change the radio on. It's integrated cluster, just like the new BMW motorcycle we just delivered. So the BMW motorcycle, you can't change the radio on. The new Indian, you can't change the radio on. The new Slingshot, it's very hard to change the radio on, and they don't make a dash kit for it, so you have to chop up a brand new $35,000 bike, so it wouldn't make sense. So if you guys don't embrace using DSPs now, you're going to end up being like one of these shops that we're constantly fixing work from. We just had a new Mercedes come in where they put a radio and a Clarion EQ in the glove compartment because they didn't know how to interface with the factory radio on a brand new Mercedes-Benz. Brand new Mercedes-Benz, which comes with wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, everything integrated into the beautiful screen. Client has to reach over to the passenger side and open the glove box using remote control. That's the way they delivered the vehicle to the client, because they didn't know how to integrate into the vehicle. So you should start now learning how to do it. That way in the future, you'll still be relevant. You'll be able to work on these vehicles. Now, the seminar was awesome. Hats off to Alex. He did a tremendous job. It ended up, he kept me awake because I'm up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm normally in bed by 10, 11 o'clock. He kept me up till the webinar started at 8 and finished after midnight. It was 4 hours, super informative. Like, he went in and tuned a DSP live in real time, answered every single question that popped up. Me and Wonderful tried to help out as much as we could so he can concentrate. And so we were helping as many people as we could with the comments below so he could concentrate on training. But he did a kick-ass job, explained everything thoroughly. And then I recommend the seminar to everybody. He has two versions of the seminar. He has the basic and he has the advanced. And even if you know what you're doing, $100 is a small investment to help you tune your $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 Harley audio. And any audio system. It doesn't matter if it's car, truck, bike, motorcycle. The basics are the basics. He goes over gain structure, proper gain setting, level matching, proper impedance, proper speaker placement, proper speaker choices, proper amplifier power. One thing he didn't get into was porting, and he briefly touched on porting, but he did not get into saddlebag enclosure design because that's a different webinar that he has. But I'm gonna be in every single one. It's I want we're gonna do more giveaways. We're gonna give away more seats to more of his future classes. It's education. If you're gonna be in this industry and you're gonna charge people to work on their bikes, you need to have the most information, up-to-date information possible, so you do the best job possible. It's just not fair to not offer clients complete value. So in order to offer value, you need to educate yourself and learn as much as you possibly can. And even if you don't agree with the way Alex does stuff, it'll allow you to see the process, and that way you can understand why certain people do stuff certain ways. There's a bunch of badass builders across the United States, and every single one has their own little twist. Like me and Dorian from Blaze talk all the time. He's got a different technique than I have, but the basics are the same. Like my basics, Alex basics, the basics are the same. It's just how we achieve the sound that we're going after is different. Plus, we all specialize in different things. I don't like doing subwoofers in bikes. I like building rider bikes. We do bikes with subwoofers, but Dorian and Alex love building subwoofer bikes. That's their thing. That's what they're known for. It's just different. I specialize in 6 and 8 speaker rider bikes. 4, 6, and 8 speaker rider bikes is my thing. I like to do more with less. I like running 2 800 watt amps and putting everything in the fairing. It's just my style. It's what I'm into. It's what I like. Alex loves subwoofers, and if you hear his bikes, you know he's not wrong. He's got a very distinct sound, and he's dominating in his weight classes. Same thing with Dorian. Dorian has a very distinct sound, and he's also dominating his weight classes. Like when these guys pull up, if you have a bike in that class, it's going to be a problem. Now, there's a bunch of other guys doing it well. Daniel Hearn. I don't want to leave anybody. It's just Troy Milner. There's just so many guys absolutely killing it. But what I need is everybody to come together and share. Don't give away your secrets, but come together and help in sharing information. I'm going to reach out to each one of these guys individually, and I want to do some sort of collaboration, some sort of video, so they can explain, without giving away their secrets, so they could explain what they like to use, what product, what DSP they like to use, what tuning style. They can, so that way, and I recommend that every client that wants to get a motorcycle built, I recommend you go to Motorcycle Audio Show, and whichever builder builds a bike that has the sound that you're into, talk to him, because it doesn't make sense to come to me after hearing a Dorian build and ask me to build in Dorian style. So find a builder. And then another thing that people do is get a parts list of whatever is on the bike and think they're going to recreate the recipe just because they have the part numbers. There's a lot that goes into it. You're not going to get the same sound, and 90% of the time it comes down to the tune. Like, the tune is everything. So all the DIY guys, I encourage you guys to continue to study. I'm very busy, but I try and answer as many calls and texts as I can. Email's probably the worst way to reach me, but because I currently have 10,000 to sort through. We had a client that came in. So we had a client that emailed me. It took me a while to get back to him, so I finally answered his email the other day. So I called him back, and he starts laughing. I'm like, what's up? He said, Carlos, you did my bike last month. So he got in touch with me somehow. The bike came in. We did the bike. By the time I got to his email, the bike had already been done and delivered. So I understand it's hard to get in touch with me. I try and answer as many calls as I can. Most of the time I pick up when I'm driving to the other shop to pick up parts or drop off parts or pick up lunch for the guys. But Alex did a great job. His webinar was incredible. I wish him luck going down to Daytona. I know he's in the middle of a monster build that he said is going to be one of the best that he's ever worked on. I recommend that you guys, if you guys don't follow Alex Haze, you should follow Alex Haze and look out for his next webinar and be a part of it. Even if it goes over your head, I've read somewhere that it takes 16 times of hearing something before you memorize it and understand it. So the more classes you take, you're going to realize that we're saying the same things over and over and over again. Gain, you're going to hear gain and gain matching. You're going to hear crossover settings. You're going to hear time alignment and phasing. And these are all, as you start to hear them, you're going to start to understand what it means, and you're going to be able to put it together and build a badass bike. Whether you're a shop owner or whether you're a DIY guy, and you shop owners that are scared to embrace DSPs, I hope you understand that if you hook up a DSP to a radio and leave the DSP completely flat, it's literally the same thing as putting in a Sony 7000. So a DSP with no crossover setting set is literally a pass-through from the factory radio. It gives you RCAs for the amplifier. So even if you don't know how to use DSPs, or if you start with a DSP and do nothing to the DSP and just hook it up, you basically have a Sony 7000. And then as you can go in, you can start making changes, and the easiest way to start making changes is read the literature that came with the speakers you're using and start by plugging those numbers in. Guarantee you the bike will sound better, even if you don't know what you're doing. So take baby steps. Watch Alex Haze's webinars, or watch my YouTube videos, or just read. There's plenty of groups out there. Strictly Sound Quality. Reach out, pick people's brains, ask, and then there's a lot of bad information on the forums. Make sure whatever you're told, do a little bit of a Google search and see if what they told you matches up with what very smart individuals, and I'm not saying just go to Bob's audio page. I'm saying go to manufacturer's page. Like the Sound Digital amplifiers have a pretty good manual. It tells you oxygen-free copper wire. It tells you wire gauge. It tells you gain settings. JL Audio's website's amazing. If you spend time on, a lot of clients get their test tones from the MTX website. So MTX website has really good test tones. The Audio Frog page has a ton of information. The JL Audio page, if you follow JL Audio on YouTube, they have a tutorial on just about everything, not just their product. And download the JL Audio app. Their Tune app lets you play around with stuff, even if you're not using their product or their amplifier. Audio Control has a really good app. The Audio Control app has a tone generator, and it's got a basic RTA. And these are all apps that are either free or cost less than $10. So just to follow up, Alex's video is amazing. Alex's webinar was great. He's an excellent instructor, and thank God it wasn't me. I like doing my short 10, 20-minute videos. This man spoke for 4 hours and answered every question, from a novice question to a expert question. So hats off to you, Alex. Great job. Can't wait to collaborate more in the future. And I'll talk to you guys later.